It's your boy Lake Kyle, and you can just find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at LAK 5Ks 5Es. I'll say that again, LAKE 5 LA. Excuse me, LA 5Ks 5Es. Yep.
Hey. So, where are you from?
Do you want me to give you the story?
Yeah, give me the full
Alright,
story.
Due to like situations with my mom and my dad, I was born in Waterbury,
Okay, yep.
and I went right back to where I'm from. I'm from Rochdale, Queens.
Oh,
So yeah, I was down there. I lived there for a couple of years, and I was very young. And my father, well, my stepfather, because my biological father and my mom, like kind of, they didn't see eye to eye, so
Yep.
they kind of did their own thing. So me and my mom did our own thing, and we lived with my grandparents. And we ended up moving up here because my stepfather that she ended up meeting, he ended up getting cancer. So
No shit.
it was hard and rough because he would like do chemo for a long time, like it'd be like 6 hours or something, and then he'll go to work. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a little tough time at that moment. So we ended up coming up here to Bridgeport.
Yeah.
I've been in Bridgeport majority of my life. You know what I'm saying? When people say where you from, I'm from Bridgeport, but Queens is my soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my family was there, and even when I was younger, I didn't really get to like connect with like friends and stuff like at the adolescent age when you're real young in first, second grade because I was always going back to the city. So
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, but I'm from Bridgeport, man. I'm from Bridgeport.
Born other places, raised in Bridgeport.
Yeah. So sold in other places, born and raised in Bridgeport. That's a fact.
Nice. So, what drew you to the music industry?
To be honest, I always was interested in music. Even when I was little, I would walk around with like a little plastic saxophone. And
Really?
yeah, because it was this show I used to watch. I forgot exactly what it was. It used to come on UPN, and this guy, he was like a superhero, but during the day he played like saxophone, and I always thought that was like super dope. So I was like, yo, this is wavy, and I like music, so I was like, saxophone. It was always soulful to me as a child because I grew up in the church. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yeah.
My grandfather, like I said, going back to New York every Sunday, church. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm used to those sounds and those feelings, and that's what drew me into music. I always loved music, like more than anything. Like there's videos of me when I was little, like me singing in the window and shit.
Yeah.
Like I hope my mom never ever shows anyone. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes like I've always been into this. So as long as I've been alive, you know what I'm saying? As long as I've been alive,
That's nice. So, are you into like jazz stuff now?
I'm into everything. I listen.
Oh, interesting.
Like I looked at my Apple Music. I looked like just on a rap scale. I listened to like 150 hours of Young Thug. I don't know how that is even possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
because the way I look, like with me, I play music all day. Like if I don't have to work, I'm playing music. So I'll go home, throw some music on my iPad, and just let an album play. If I like the album, I just keep letting it circulate, and that just goes on to say, I wonder how many hours I listen to everything else. I go from listening to like Young Thug to like my favorite band of all time, Mute Math. Like I love Mute Math. Like their music is amazing.
And what are they like?
They're I would say alternative, like
Okay,
alternative
yeah.
rock. And I kind of got onto their music, not even kind of. I got onto their music when I watched a movie called Never Back Down, and it was one of
Fucking love that movie, bro.
All right, you know that song "You're Mine"?
I think so, yeah.
There's a part where it's like the girl and the dude, and they're on some romantic type shit in the room, and the brother comes in. There's a
When
song
they're
in the
wrestling,
background.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's the song. I was like, damn, they're dope, but like the internet wasn't like as strong as
Yeah.
it was, where you could just type a lyric in and find it. So it took like years. So I didn't think about going to the soundtrack or nothing like that because it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So, I stumbled upon them, and ever since then, that's all I listen to most of the time. I listen to a lot of them. I listen to everything I can. I work at UPS, and all the guys that I work with, like in our office, these guys' music taste is crazy. They play so much different stuff for me. So I'm listening to Brazilian jazz.
No shit.
A lot of heavy metal, everything. Like
Yeah.
it goes. The spectrum's crazy. So.
That's actually dope. It opens your mind up to a lot of things, and as an artist, that's almost the best thing to do.
Yeah, because I feel like what drew me to music was voices and how
Okay.
voices sound. So like I listen to records, like it could be like like Kelly Clarkson.
Yep.
I listened to a Kelly Clarkson record and listened to how it was mixed and how her vocals sounded and like what kind of emotion she was trying to invoke. Like everything with my music is vocal. Like it's all about something that actually happened. So,
Bro, that's interesting. That's deep.
yeah.
What made you choose your stage name?
I grew up in the neighborhood I grew up in. It was a lake.
Okay,
The
yeah.
only lake in Bridgeport. If anybody knows anything about Bridgeport, is no lakes around, but there is one, and it's like tucked away. And you know, people that live on that side of town, the north end, they know where it's at. And that, you know, me living there and being so inspired, like I always felt connected to it. You know, I always felt like stronger when I was there. I don't know why, but I'm also a Cancer. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not like super deep into astrology, but like I'm into like seeing things twice. If I see it more than once, it's like, all right, maybe this might be something for me. And it just made sense. It's like Lake Kyle. I'm Kyle because it's really myself, and I grew up on the lake. You know what I'm saying? Nothing extra to it.
It's personal, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
It makes you like actually fuck with repping it.
Yeah, I'm not just Kyle. I'm Kyle from the lake. You know what I'm saying? Lake Kyle.
Right. See, and it almost flows out the tongue like, well, it's, 3 syllables total, so it's not like too much. It's not a mouthful, and it's like, to be honest, it just sounds like something that, like Mac Miller, that, it just
It
like,
flows.
it flows, exactly. You wouldn't even think it twice about it. So what does your work aim to say?
My work is really about a story from nothing to something, and to being everything. And when I mean like that, like that's like I'm very big into like UFC and like fighting. Because when I grew up, I used to do like karate and stuff like that, and like a lot of my family members always was in that kind of martial arts world, and I'm like super disciplined. So like I look for inspiration from other places. Like I'm inspired by music, I'm inspired by entertainment and stuff like that, but like I'm inspired by somebody that like came from nowhere, you know, because I'm a kid that came from nowhere. I'm still a kid that's on my way, you know what I'm saying? So my music is telling my backstory, telling my present story, and then telling my future story. That's why all my records are kind of set up. Like if you listen to like how certain like bars, I'll start off a verse and explain what I'm wearing just to give you this landscape, and then explain what car I'm driving and what I'm doing, and then that's just the bulk of the story, and then we'll go into like what I'm trying to stay at that moment about my life. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's present, sometimes it's past, sometimes it's future. I don't do a lot of future music right now because I want that time to come. I'm still just laying the groundwork down.
Makes sense, yeah. I like that, bro. So what do you enjoy most about being a musician, and what do you dislike the most about it?
I enjoy making music. I love making music. Making music is, if nobody was on the earth and God said, yo, you can have one thing, I'd be like, yo, give me a studio, man. I'll just make records and I'll be fine. Like, I love music. Like, music's always been there for me. Like, no matter what I've lost, what I've gained, what I've maintained, it was always music. So, yeah.
And what do you think you dislike the most about
What
it?
I dislike?
That just comes with the job.
The egos.
Okay.
That's my biggest problem. Like,
And why is that?
because it's like, I understand we're all grown individuals, but like, there's a lane like for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you got a real personal problem with a person, you know what I'm saying? It really should never.
Unless there's real beef in
real beef. And then even when it comes to records, like I'm not going against what anybody, you know, saying anything somebody does is negative, but me, I'm not like, real beef to me is like when I see you, it's really to that situation. You know what I'm saying? So I don't got time to decipher if you're trying to sneak diss me, you dislike me in real life, because the era I came up in is, you say something negative, it's negative. It don't matter how you want to put it. It don't matter if you was joking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm very mindful of like my word choice and words, and that's what I dislike. It's like the ego game. It's like, oh, I'm better than you, or I'm this or I'm that. Like, dude, we're all rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, my story is completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Like they won't hit you up or like respond back to your DM because
just-
they're at this place, not this place.
Yeah, like some people will talk to me. Like it's weird because like I talk to like so many different people in the industry. Like I've talked to like people that you would think would never respond. You know, and the thing about me, like with music, like I said, I love voices. So like engineering is big to me, producing is big to me.
Yeah.
I always want to get around producers and engineers. I didn't like the rapper thing. Like even when I was a little kid, I never was like trying to be like around the rappers or nothing like that. Like I always just wanted to be around the sound, you know? Like I like behind the scenes, but it just worked out for me to be an artist this way, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my biggest thing. I don't like the egos.
Oh, I completely agree, man. Some people just... the biggest thing that I heard was there was a Brockhampton interview back in like probably 2017.
Yeah.
And they were asked by MTV, like, you know, what's the biggest thing that you guys have learned from doing music together? Something like that. And they said, you got to check your ego at the door, because if you don't, then what we have right here is not going to work. It can't.
It won't. It'll never work, no matter how talented you are, because it's like a basketball team. Everybody got to play their role. You know,
Seriously.
just because you feel like you the dude, don't mean you that dude for that moment. Not saying you're not that dude in another area, because everybody's dope in their own way. You got to find your dopeness.
You could be a facilitator. You know, just because you're getting the assist doesn't mean you're not an important asset to the team.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That is a fact, man.
I feel that. If there's one thing, though, that you could change about the industry, what would it be?
The lack of knowledge that is given to up and coming artists.
Okay.
I
And
feel
why is
like-
that?
Because you got to go seek knowledge and stuff like that, but like we're in a different world now. Like streaming has changed the game. Like the way I wouldn't necessarily say that it's changed crazy, but it changed to a point where it's more accessible. And now it's like you could find like before you couldn't find out about like a reverb or how somebody made their beats. You know what I'm saying? Now there's kids that like dedicate their time on YouTube and have like huge accounts that just break down people's beat process or their writing process, and it's like we're in a whole different time. So I feel like the industry got to open up a little bit more on that. But you know, that's my take on it, because I'm coming through. You know, it's not like I'm in the industry and I'm like, well, this is what's going on. I'm looking up at the industry like, well, you know what I'm
It
saying?
could be easier if you were given those resources.
Not even necessarily just the resources, because I feel like you got to seek them if they were just there. Because I feel like sometimes people, if you have more potential or they see your potential before you do, they'll kind of curve you. You know what I'm saying? I've been curved so many times by like so many individuals that I'll never talk about, you know, or never name, because, you know, it's not that serious. It's just another one on the chin to grow from. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know. It's just different for me. You know, I'm the kind of guy I get a shirt off my back to you. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's to that, like, we all humans, man. You know, we not gonna be here long, so we might as well. If I could see like somebody next to me, like a Chris Dillinger, a Subi, everybody, my cousin, everybody, you know what I'm saying? I'll do whatever it takes for all of us to take it to that next level. But you gotta see it for yourself first.
Yeah, no facts.
At the end of the day, like, that statement is like kind of up in the air. You know what I'm saying? Just on the fact of like, if you don't go for it, I can't really like be mad that you're not getting it. You know? So.
Interesting. I feel that. Going back to when you're talking about the streams, how do you feel the internet has impacted the music business right now?
Oh, turned it up. It made it different to where now you can run your neighborhood. Like, you don't have to be like, when I first started rapping, like when I was just a young kid just trying to get my flow right.
Yeah.
I used to like burn CDs in high school and like literally hand them out. Like, not have CD covers, literally wrap them in printer paper that I took from my computer class and put my name on it, because everybody, like, the people that I was giving it to knew who I was anyways. It was not like I was putting myself in the line of fire to where, you know, even if somebody like didn't like it or something like that, I never take shit like that personal.
It's
So,
their
like,
opinion.
yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's 7 billion people on this earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, not to be that kind of guy, but yeah, streaming has turned it up. It's made it, you can make money now. You know what I'm saying? You can really get money, and you can really like become a brand without big time help. You know what I'm saying? Like, that push is great, but like I said, like, I was in a situation at a time where I was gonna sign like a situation, and it just didn't pan out. They wanted to change my name, wanted me to write lyrics, things that was just not myself. But it let me know that like I had the image of an artist. Like, all right, I'm heading in the right direction, so let me fall back. You know what I'm saying? And put some things together and get better. So me having the internet and all those things, what got me to this point. The internet is my best friend.
Bro, I feel that completely.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the internet, the breakthrough wouldn't have blown nearly as much as it did, because half the people, if not more, I only know through the internet. You know, I haven't even met them in person yet.
We all live in the same state.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, because culture's changed. Like, everything is like the new, like in the 50s, they had the radio. The new radio was a cell phone. So that's why.
Facts.
That's why you can make a song in your room and drop it tonight and go and be lit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Tomorrow, everybody in your neighborhood, all your thousands of followers, people you actually know, heard your record. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different ball game now. Anybody could do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts. You got your recording equipment right in your room. Bang.
And it don't even have to sound crazy, like crazy
No, it
dope.
doesn't.
If that's what you're about, that's what you're about. But
Exactly. You can have your raw stuff out there.
Yes, and that shit's fire.
Just throw it on SoundCloud.
Plain and simple.
Way to go, bro. So let's talk about what is Revo or Revo Records?
El May Revo, and
Okay.
it's something I hate to say it. It's not even hate to say it. It's just funny. I made it up just off the strength. Like I always make stuff up. I always been like the kind of kid like make my own lingo up, make my own like I said before, skulls. Like that's
Yeah.
just people that think. It's not like a crew. It's not like a group of people. Like I call you a skull because you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that thinks. You know what I'm saying? So I always been that kind of guy to like make my own things up. And to me that sounded like a revolution. Like I wanted a record label that sounded different from most record labels. I wanted something that when you heard it was like El May Revo, like that sounds like a motion picture. Because
Yeah.
that's how I set my scenes. That's what it is. That's what I want to reflect in my music. It's like a movie, you know what I'm saying? So that is the label, and with that, in years to come, as more success comes and we get more opportunities, I'm gonna be able to put certain people, individuals that I believe in, artists, in position so they can do the same thing that I did and better. You know what I'm saying? That's really the
I
ultimate.
love that.
That's
Yeah.
the ultimate thing for me.
So you're planning on being a boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that mindset.
Not even necessarily a boss, just somebody that can do what wasn't there for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to hold nobody. I don't want nobody staying with me forever, lifetime, or nothing like that. I want people to do their thing like an incubator. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yeah.
I want you to get right. Okay, you need to get studio time. You're not able to get studio time because I know what it's like. I done dealt with, dude, I done had family members as engineers. You know what I'm saying? And they curve me because life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got things going
True.
on. And I can't be mad at you, but I want to be able to have those resources to do that for those artists.
There's actually, so I'm taking the history of jazz class up at school,
Yeah.
and there's this group called the Jazz Messengers, and it was with Art Blakey, and what he would do is he called themselves the Messengers because he wanted you to like find your sound and everything, and once you found your sound, all right, now you're gonna leave the group, but I want you to create your own group and go out there and do your own thing because I believe in you.
Yeah.
Just like you said, the incubator type thing. That's genius. What is the best advice you've been given?
Follow your heart.
And why is that?
Because your heart is real. Like, it's I don't know. Maybe just for myself and the way life has been for me. Like every time I didn't follow my heart, I always took the wrong direction or it didn't go the way I wanted to go. So I just stick to your guns, follow your heart, and be true. You know what I'm saying? If you do those things, then you don't have nothing to worry about. You know, because when I go to sleep at night, I gotta make sure. You know, whatever I do, I don't care music or not. You know, like the artists don't stop. It's not
Yeah.
like Batman or something like that. Like I'm late Kyle at work. I'm late Kyle with my brothers and sisters. I'm late Kyle with my mom. But late Kyle is not some, you know what I'm saying, some entity that, only exists in a certain realm. Like
It's you.
just me. It's always me, It's everything.
That's real, bro. So talk about meeting. Let's start off first with KSUBK.
Yeah.
How do you guys meet?
We live on the same street. Well,
No
our
shit.
parents live on the
Yeah.
same street, yeah. Before I left.
So when you moved over to Bridgeport, that you guys basically just have been friends
No,
ever
not
since?
necessarily. It's funny, right? I used to work at Zoomies.
Okay.
In Trumbull Mall, and I worked there for years. And I met so many. It's all right. Are you familiar with Morte?
Yeah.
The guy that started that, I met him there. There's a rapper
Oh,
named
shit.
Kiz. I met him there. I met so many individuals working at Zoomies because all the skater kids would come in there.
Yeah.
Like we used to in Bridgeport, there was two places. It was Rampage, and then there was Zoomies. It was like the mainstream, and then
Yeah.
you got your your hardcore like actual skater type of vibe, and those kids used to come through there. And Kay was one of the kids that used to come through there. And I was always doing music, and I was always trying to find a way, working with different engineers.
Yeah.
And he used to just like, yo, hit me up. And I just didn't pay it no mind because everybody says hit you up. Like everybody's like, yo, I want to do a track, I want to do this, and then I get around them, and then songs don't come out, things don't happen.
It's slow.
It's slow, and I kind of got like tired of that. So I was like, you know what, like if he's real, I hit him up in time when I like can do it. You know what I'm saying, like truly, And I hit him up one day, and he was like, yo, pull up, and I was like, you live right here? Like, literally, because I didn't know he lived that close. He always used to tell me, like, oh, I live right near you. Because apparently, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did not, like, he's a couple years younger than me.
Okay.
So it's like, I was in high school, like, my freshman year, I was out of there. You know what I'm saying? So if he did see me, he saw me in passing, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? Kind of don't match up. But, like, as time went on, like, I was like, let me hit this kid up. You know what I'm saying? And then me and him, And Chris Dillinger, before Chris Dillinger started making music,
Yeah.
we all went to his house. Me and Chris Dillinger went to Subi's house, and they was down there making music with some kids that I grew up with. Like I grew up with their older cousins, like kids that I know and stuff like that. We all grew up together, so like I know a lot of people from Bridgeport, you know. And we made Lingo, and that shit went crazy. I wasn't expecting it to go crazy, you know, because I just put out music and people like it. I'm super happy, but I'm gonna love it because I made sure I gave my all and we had a good time in that room. You know what I'm saying? So we put that out and went crazy. We started recording other records. We started getting serious. It was like, yo, shit, 10,000 plays, and this is where we from. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? And we started putting out more records, and we put out Cutting Up. That went crazy.
That video was fire.
Yeah, and that was all on the fly. Like we were just going to the studio one night, and we used to work out at the studio with Cam. He works for Alamo Records now. It was an ASAP studio in downtown in the city in Manhattan, and we used to like K would get sessions there, and he would like squeeze time in with us to get records done and stuff.
Oh,
so we would like it'd be like 1:00 in the morning or whatever the case may be. So I think that week like we had a show on Friday in Danbury, and then we had another show, and then he hit us up like before the show, like, yo, come out here, record.
Yeah.
It's like 2:00 in the morning when we did that Cutting Up video. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 24 hours, like it was like a 35-hour day. You know, it was like insane. You know what I'm saying?
Holy
like
shit,
it was
yeah.
to where like I'm driving home and I'm falling asleep and we're all in the car and stuff like that. Like, yo, taking turns and stuff. Like, bro, we put a lot of grind in, so you know.
But that's real.
Yeah, that's how I met him.
Genuine.
Yeah. You were gonna say Chris Dillinger as well.
Yeah.
We can
go straight into that.
I've known him since high school. That is my guy. You know, we came up together from sophomore year, and we always stayed close. We always was into the same things. You know what I'm saying? Like that is my guy right there. Like best friend. Like FaceTime right now. You know what I'm saying? Like out of all the friends from high school, like that's the person I talk to every single day.
That's your right hand man.
Yes. Straight up, you know. Besides like family, he is family, you know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of friends like that, but like our relationship is just it's always been like that. He never like
switched up or anything.
I could call him up and voice my opinion about something, and we're gonna have a dialogue about it. He can do the same with me. It's all respect. We can go from loud pitched voice to talking just like how we are now. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a great individual. That's my guy.
Talk about the Well Damn music video. How did that come to fruition?
Alright, Senpai Quincy, super, does a lot of visual stuff. He did stuff with K, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Like out in our scene. And we've been working alongside these guys for years almost. Like, alright, we started seriously in 2016, it's 2019, you know what I'm saying? So the first 2 years was about getting shows and stuff like that, and we were building people that rocked with us, and these, like, the whole 7 all those guys out of Hartford, that area, always showed us straight love. It was no funny, money shit. So, like I said, my big thing is loyalty, and I always stick with, the guys that I'm loyal to. And we just rode up there one day and shot a video, and it came out really dope, and people like it, and I saw it on some producer's page. Like, a lot of people rock with it. It's cool. It's dope. Like, I love the fact that people are listening to our records, man, because we worked extremely hard on this stuff. Like, even before me and Dylan just started making records, like, he would be at my house, like, I would literally fall asleep, and he would be, like, mixing or cutting stuff off of my songs that he was like, yo, this is dope, or, because he always believed in me. And he's the first kid that ever played my music in high school. Like, when I was handing out those CDs, that was the only kid that, like, really was like, yo,
fucking
like,
with
this is dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in his best friend's sister's car. Like, they would play it all the time. And, like, I went off to college. And when I went off to college, I'll come back on the weekends and kick it with them. Yeah. And it wouldn't be a lot because my original friend group, we all dormed together in college. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody got girlfriends, life started hitting, and everybody did their own thing. We're all super tight still to this day, but it's not like how it was before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
of course.
As time went on and I came back to Bridgeport after I, like, decided to not, like, fuck with school anymore, because like I'm like 2 semesters away from graduating. But I just don't like school always came natural to me, so I didn't care. Like, like, even to this day, it's like I work a good enough job right now to where when I want to go back to school and finish, I can. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I want to chase my dreams.
No rush right now.
There's no rush because at the end of the day, I'm always learning. I'm always reading every day. I treat my life like school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm constantly learning. Like like school got too tedious. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't want to sit down, and these classes got fucking crazy, dude. Like
Right.
2.5 bios and shit. Like, come
I
on,
fucking
man. Like,
feel that.
dude, I wanted music theory. You know, like I took a history of jazz class in college. You know what I'm saying? That was the best class I took.
Oh, it's so nice having a class like that to kind of like take me away from what I'm doing, because I'm in computer science and cybersecurity. So that shit is like different than
Yeah.
the history of jazz and like the breakthrough stuff. So it's always nice to like take a break and do that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. That and English. English was dope for me because I always loved to write. I always loved to read because of my mom. My mom, she instilled that in me. Just like the music. Like I feel like I said, family's everything. I feel like if it wasn't for my mother loving music the way she did, I wouldn't be like how I am. You know, because there's like I could call her at 2:00 in the morning. Like literally, I have dreams and I'll hear a song that I grew up on, and I wake up in the middle of the night. I'll give her a call, and she'd be like, "Oh, it's this song." Like her music knowledge is crazy. Her just like. Her, my uncle used to DJ in the parks when hip hop was just coming up. You know what I'm saying? So like this is like I always say to people like I'm second or third generation hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Even though like I don't have like no famous people in my family, I feel like just the culture. You know, like third generation of the culture. You know what I'm saying?
They grew up during a great time regarding hip hop, because it's like they got to see it like happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like we hear about it. You know, I'm a little younger. I was born in '98, so like. You know, there was shit happening in like 96, 94 that like I wasn't even born to know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What about Sensei Batch? Because I see you guys do a lot of work together.
Oh yeah, that is my. He's like my Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I make beats and I've always made beats, but like I make beats and I have like 500 unreleased songs. Like you know what I'm saying? Just like sitting on
In
a
the
hard
vault,
drive,
yeah.
just chilling. You know what I'm saying? And hundreds of other songs written. I've been writing music for so long. So when it came to finding like how I wanted to go about things, I needed a producer I could sit down with, like, because I can make my beats, but at the same time, like connecting with somebody that can find your vision and y'all flow like together. It's like
Nothing
symmetry.
else.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I like one of my biggest examples in music has always been Drake. And it's not just because of like how he like the things he does. I watch the movements. I just watch the business mind. That's really what I'm truly into.
Yeah.
So I always knew he had 40, and 40 made that music sound crazy. And they worked in the studios for hours.
Their connection was something else, bro.
To this day, you know what I'm saying? They're like Drake. He even says it himself. Like it wouldn't be no 40. You know, there wouldn't be no Drake. Excuse me, without 40. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, I understand that. And then you look at Cardi Pierre. You look at every great guy. 50. Dre, Dre, you know what I'm saying? The list goes on and on. Like Mobb Deep, like everybody had great production. So he was a part of 7 and we always been tight since like 2016. And he used to send me beat packs to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never was like, yo, he went like, it's funny, like producers, they'll send me like some beats and then they're like, what you like? And then after I say what I like, they'll be like, oh, it costs this much. Like, dude, do not send me no beats because I can make them myself, and like dudes really want to send me beats because they understand what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Like, I still put money in my guys' pockets, give my guys opportunities and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like when somebody comes with some money first type of thing, it's like
it's not that genuine connection.
Because the first thing I'm thinking about is paying you first. The music's not gonna be made, and what happens if I pay you? Then I never make this record, or I don't use it, or anything like that.
And it goes in the vault.
It just sits in the vault. You know what I'm saying? And that's and like now that I'm older, time is everything. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I work on now, that I try to get out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't rush nothing.
Yeah.
I try to get my stuff out there though. So, that's where we at with it, and that's how I got to come alongside with him, and it just works. And we talk every day or every other day, just like my engineer mixed by Evil. Dude's, to me, he's the GOAT, because anybody that took it, like if you took a chance on me, you know what I'm saying, coming from not being able to rap to like I really like built my flow, like like I really had to fight like to get as good as I rap now, you know what I'm saying? And I've got a long journey ahead to get better, but anybody that rocks with me is like the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? Like to be able to make my vision in my head come to reality. Like when I listen to my records, I don't be like, oh man, I'm ashamed, or this don't sound right, or I said the wrong thing. Like I'm super confident. Like, Kanye West, anybody, top guys in the world could be in the room. I play my song and feel just as lit. You know what I'm saying? I love music, so.
Yo, those engineers really be doing the most, bro. I respect them because sitting in front of that, doing all the different mixes, I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Like, but they'll find the littlest things and tweak that and make it sound so much better.
Yeah, and like it's funny because I ended up learning how to mix, and I mixed a lot of actual SoundCloud records. I mixed Cutting Up, I mixed Long Way, I mixed Cold Heart, I mixed some stuff for a couple other people. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope, but like I'm the kind of guy that where I learn on my own and then I go find somebody that really knows what they're talking about, like somebody with a certification or whatever, so I can just pair my ideas with them. Because if I can learn and tweak like just the little things, when we're in the studio, I walk in the studio with my engineer. He we have presets now. You know what I'm saying? He knows what I want. I'm like, I want my voice to sound cold. I want my voice to sound like this. I want my voice to sound like that. So we're at that level to where like he doesn't have to do a lot for me. I tell him what I would like because I've done it before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, you guys got the connection now, so it's easy as ever.
You just work.
That's sweet. So is that where you go to record most of your project?
Mm-hmm.
And where's that?
In Bridgeport.
Okay.
I do a lot of stuff. To be honest, I'm everywhere. You know, I record wherever I can. I record in my house a lot. I record wherever I can. I record in Bridgeport a lot because it's my home. It just feels good. Like I don't know what it is. Like it's like a whole bunch of things that culminate into me recording. You know what I'm saying? So going home to Bridgeport is one thing. You know, and that's where I do a lot of stuff. But you know, I want to get it to a point where we're traveling and I could bring him with me. You know, and we could just work anywhere.
Work anywhere, exactly.
Yeah, that's the goal.
So what is your creative process like?
My creative process is first before I even go in the studio, all my songs 9 times out of 10 are either written in my head and they're ready, or they're written on my phone.
Yeah.
They're already ready to go. I know it don't take me but 10 minutes, 15 minutes to record. Like I'll go in there and I knock out like 2 or 3 records. Like,
You're prepared.
Yeah, always. Like stay ready so I'll never have to get ready. You know what I'm saying?
I like that saying.
I just pull up, I do, because it's punctual. You know, you want to be on time. Like and I feel like rapping is energy, you know what I'm saying? And if you rapping for hours and hours, that energy's dying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I want to go in there with the most raw feeling. So, because if I'm talking about some shit that really happened, even if it offends you, that's what I want. Like I want you to feel that shit. Like I want you to feel my emotion. Like I don't want you to be like, oh, he just said something on the track, let me bob my head. I'm like, damn, why the fuck did he say fuck that hard? You know what I'm saying? Then listen to the next bar. You know what I'm saying? So, first is the emotion. You know what I'm saying? The feeling, the vibe. Second is like living life. Like I don't make records if I'm not living life. Like if I'm just working or I'm doing whatever, I'm not gonna make any records. I gotta go out. Like I'll go to the strip club and just sit in the back of the strip club. And you know, I fuck around, throw some money and shit like that, but it's not like I'm not there for that. Like I'm there to feel that energy, just to see the women, you know what I'm saying? Like and just kick back. You know, I'll go to a club and just sit in the back of the club and watch everybody dance, see what songs they gravitate towards. You know, see what they like. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what the dialogue amongst people is. Like, and
observe.
Yeah. It's a lot of observation, you know what I'm saying? But it's also like a lot of freedom because when I feel it, I make it. You know what I'm saying? Like if my engineer's not around, like I record in my crib. Because 9 times out of 10, the stuff that I bring to him is really to that point. If I record in my crib and it don't make it to his house, it was just me feeling like that for the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's like that. Like when you're working on a project. When I was working on Chrome, I've been talking about Chrome for like a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I had to put out Cold Heart before I put out Chrome Hearts to set the stage. Like I want to lay my foundation so I could tell my story.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Talk about the evolution from Cold Heart to Chrome Hearts.
Alright, so it's a series.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I don't know, I tweeted one day and I was like, I don't want people to take it the wrong way. It has nothing to do with Chrome Hearts, the brand. The brand is dope. I love the brand. You know what I'm saying? Super dope. I got some pieces. But it's not about clothes. It's about, like, your actual heart. Because being cold, like, originally, when I made Cold Heart, I got out of a relationship that I was with a girl that I thought was going to be everything. You know, I love this girl, like, you know, the bottom of my soul. And it just didn't pan out right. And then life started getting in the way. And then as like the healing process was happening, like other girls was coming into my life. I was coming into my own as a man and moving out of my mom's house and just being able to sustain life as a man, you know what I'm saying? And I was somewhat cold-hearted. I was like turned off because it was like, well, the girl I wanted, because I'm the kind of guy where I want what I want, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to bend, break, or fold, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get what I want. That's just how I've always been. and I was just real like, my heart was cold, and I was real like just off about things, and that's why the records are like that. Like the first record is The Lake, and it's me talking about my love for music. Because I had
That's my personal favorite. That shit fire.
I had to thank you, man. I had to reevaluate my life and understand why I'm here. Why I do this thing. Because to me, like I said, the music is the common thread. The music's the only thing that'll never change. You know what I'm saying? Like people change, things fade, music never. You know what I'm saying? And I was just reflecting on that phase of my life, and I started off with The Lake to tell myself how much I loved music. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think it's about a girl, because I used real life girl situations, like multiple girl situations, but I also talked about the game like a Common song. I think it's called I Used to Love Her, and that was like the original inspiration for that song. And then that's why you go from The Lake to It's Slow, because all right, now that I established that I'm The Lake and this is what we're on and this is where I'm at, it's slow. That's why I'm spitting so hard. You know what I'm saying? And then I just give it a break at the end. And then we got Stay. Stay was something for my soul as an artist, to make sure that I always stay in line. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to my father and stuff like that, because, his death was real. It changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, he passed away in the house with me. We were, we were very close. And I was very young. I was like 6 years old when he passed away. So when it happened, like, it always stuck with me, because as a man, your dad is everything, man. That's your first line of protection as a young boy.
Back, bro, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I was reflecting on that, and then you get to Spike Lee, to where like I'm understanding what's going on. You got to do the right thing, kid. You got to stay on your path. And then we go to Chrome Heart, and it's my confidence. Yeah, I'm here now. Like, there's nothing shaking me. I'm not scared. You're not gonna talk me down. You're not gonna like rile me up. We're here now. That's why the first song is Own.
Yeah.
Get it on your own. You go from getting it on your own to back. I'm back to balling. I'm here now. Let's do it. Let's drop something. Let's work. Let's continue to be, progressive. You know what I'm saying? To new phone, because after going back to balling, all the shit before, I got a new phone. You can't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that shit. Like, I'm new phone, who's this? I ain't fucking with you. I'm going to do it the way I had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Down to, what is it? It's years ago. Years ago, it was just me telling the story of seeing so much shit coming from Bridgeport. Because there's so many paths you could take in Bridgeport, because there's so many different type of rappers. Like, there's so much street shit that goes on in my city, man. Mm-hmm. Like, it's for real out there, But I always knew that I had to speak to the kids out there like myself, that was growing up amongst that shit, that had to rise above it. Like, I was always the cousin amongst all the craziest cousins or the craziest kids in class, but they always believed, like, yo, this the kid that's gonna do it. This, don't fuck with Kyle, because Kyle got a future. You know what I'm saying? I was always that kid that, to the other kids around me. So, like,
setting a standard there.
Yeah, and the shit that I seen could have changed my life. The things that I've been around, you know what I'm saying? I could have went a whole different direction, but I was like, nah, let me stay solid, to where those same kids, I see them in the streets now, we're all young adults now. They're like, yo, you keep doing your thing. Yo, I see you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see you. So that's what years ago was about. To rock like this was just me really being in my zone. Like, I love clothes. So, like,
yeah.
Like, when I go, like, when I buy clothes, like, that shit is like something else to me. I don't know what it is. It's like a whole nother world. I like to go by myself. Even if it's online, like, I'm constantly searching. Like, I'm always on Grails. I'm always searching up for something to get, because that's just always been me. I always like to get dressed, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was best dressed in 6th grade, you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like, for real, like, before it mattered, before everybody thought it was, like, the thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, I always just like to dress, So, that's what that's about, and I'm just telling people what, what we're on and what we're about, and the horizon, that's the truth. It's letting you know, like, yo, all right, I'm analyzing everything that we've done from Cold Heart to now. Now all that is dead. Mm-hmm. I'm not fazed by the past relationships. I'm not fazed by the fake friendships. I'm not fazed by the things people done to me. I've forgiven you all, because I understand where we're at in life.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? So.
Not too many people have the mindset you do. It seems like you're very aware.
Always. I feel like death makes you aware.
Yeah.
I think that's what
I agree completely.
Because I seen, like, how death affects other people as time went on, and how death affected me, because I was 6. It's like, it's not that I was, like, emotionless or nothing like that, but I was 6 years old. I remember having to go to therapy, and, like in my head, I'm like, what is this stuff? You know what I'm saying? But as a man, like, as time went on, I had to grow through my own things, and I didn't let it consume me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I work so hard. That's why I can, be up since 2 o'clock. Not have eaten, you know what I'm saying, and not have, done the stuff that everybody has to do before they do the next thing. Because I feel like one day I'm not gonna be here, and I gotta make sure I leave something. I gotta do something. I gotta say something.
Leave a mark in history.
Yes, I don't care if it's just one person. If that one person hears my track and he's like, "Yo, fuck that, I'm getting it on my own," and they go make a fucking $1 million, yo. Yeah. I never touch $1 million. That shit is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all human beings, man. We're only here for a short amount of time, so we just gotta enjoy this shit and do it while we can.
That's a fact, bro. I completely agree, and you, like you said, death really like makes it a point to see like where you're at with it. I just lost past couple years. One of my best friend's older brothers, his oldest brother, passed away to heroin. No, thank you. And then his other older brother passed away to heroin as well. Jeez. So during that time I was doing some hard drugs and stuff the first time around. When that happened the first time, I was like, kind of had to reevaluate life, and it's like it really puts into perspective, what do you want to leave, and so the second time around I've been really trying to just like make it a point to steer life in the right direction, and it shows you reevaluate everything and you realize that you do want to make a difference and stuff like that. I feel that.
Yeah, you back the ball in, bro. That's really what it's all about. It's literally, my music is just motivation music. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that felt slept on, shitted on, people, because everybody feels like that. So, that's really what it's all about, because I was that kid that wasn't the kid that could, everybody thought could rap. Because there was always rappers. I've been around for a while, but I've been slept on, you know what I'm saying? And it's not nothing negative at all. There's so much avenues and ways that you have to go about being a musician nowadays. It's not just, put out a song, you're dope, or it's lit. No, you gotta market your records, you gotta, talk to certain people, things of that nature. So, once I got on that game, it was over, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm in a position of life to where I'm still aware.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to continue to check the ego, man, no matter how dope the music gets, no matter how cool the clothes get, because we're just enjoying this, and I want to, not lose track.
Fans appreciate the most humble.
Yeah, that, and just staying true, just staying true to myself. That's me. Even if I had no fans, I would have to be this kind of person. And as an individual, I feel like you got to continuously check yourself. I don't go to the gym just to, look good. I don't care about looking good for girls or nothing like that. I care about it's about myself. When I'm on that stage and fucking that sun is beating down or them lights is on you and you're doing an hour set, you're gonna wish you was in the gym. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna wish.
Big fast.
Fuck, when you catch the leg cramp, because hey, I come from playing sports. You know what I'm saying? I used to play football as a kid. I was doing karate, basketball. I did so many soccer, so many sports. So I always kept that part in me, that staying on my grind. If the gym didn't close tonight, I would have been going to the gym when I got back home, because that's in my nature. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. So you gotta give it your all, man. That's all I can.
Before you leave, I gotta show you something downstairs. My dad, huge fan of lifting. He has an entire gym, not old Nautilus equipment down there, bro. You'll appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta see that.
So you were talking about performing before.
Yeah.
What are 3 of your favorite memories from previous performances?
Seeing my boys crowd surfing in Boston while we were performing was the craziest thing I've ever seen thus far.
Mm-hmm.
In that same show, because that Boston show was insane. We performed alongside Little Tracy and
awesome.
It was lit. Dillinger, he was out there doing his thing, tearing it up. We was lit. Chapo was there. It was lit.
Yeah.
But crowd surfing was the first one. The second one was the girl in the front row literally grabbing my belt buckle, trying to fuck with me while I was rapping. And I was like, damn, it's really like this? This is crazy. I'm just some kid from Bridgeport. This is what the
rock star lifestyle, bro.
Yeah, man. And mind you, that show, the line was we pulled up and the line was around the corner. I was I'm thinking this is going to be some, simple, not even simple event, some place where 300 or 400 people. It's 500 kids just before the openers. I'm like, what the hell is going on here, bro? Venue was packed. It was insane. And then my last one, I would say being in Florida, performing with, with Tankhead and all those guys, like being out there in that atmosphere, going to South Florida, and like when you go to other people's places and like things like negative things don't happen, and people like receive you well, respect you, and are not just like, who's this guy, where you from, kind of thing, like how some people can be.
Yeah,
it's amazing because you get to see what it's like out there. It's a whole different world, man. It was so open. Everybody's so open arms. Everybody want to talk. It's love. Like, of course they have their own things going on probably, but like how I was received out there, it was respect. It was fun.
Welcoming into their culture.
Yeah, and mind you, like it was more on some like rock shit. You feel me? Like on some mosh pit. Like my music is not necessarily mosh pit music. You know what I'm saying? But well, damn, is people want to hear it. So
exactly,
we show up and we do what we do.
Bro, that's fire. So, other than you and your boys, who's your favorite artist out in Connecticut?
It's hard to say. It's a couple of people that like. I don't know every artist in Connecticut, but there's a couple of guys I'll just name off the top of my head. Definitely Chris Dillinger. Because I seen everything. Like I seen the grind, so I understand where he's coming from. Like I understand it. Two Butter, K.
Fire.
Yeah. Two Butter, that's I went to college with Two Butter. I met Two Butter freestyling outside of the dorms. Like I walked outside the first day, everybody smoking, and like, cause this place called West. Like West is like where all the athletes stay. Everybody like, want to be over there because it's a new building.
Yeah.
So everybody used to be in the courtyard, and I came out there, and I met Dave Phoenix out there too. He went to
word.
Yeah, I met him. So many kids. Dude,
Shout out Dave, he's nice.
Dude, there's a lot of kids that I met. Like, that's why it's hard to say who my favorite is, because everybody doing something, I'm rooting for them. You know what I'm saying? Some way,
feel that.
Shape, form, I'll show up to your show. Something like your song, something. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is if you're doing something, continue to do something, and tear this shit down. You know what I'm saying? We need people to tear it down. We need the best talent. We need people to do stuff bigger and better than what we've seen thus far. So I want everybody that's doing it to continue to do it and do it to the highest degree. So I really don't have a favorite.
I feel that, bro. But how about this? Who would you most like to collaborate with?
Ooh.
Both in Connecticut and then an all-time list. It could be, dead or alive for the all-time.
Okay. In Connecticut. So many kids, bro. So many. Definitely Dave Phoenix. Yeah, Dave Phoenix, definitely. His music's fire. I've been listening to his music since we've been in college. You know what I'm saying?
It's a whole different vibe, bro.
Oh yeah, and he works extremely hard on it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can hear it, you can tell. And yeah, even though I know when we haven't worked together, that's somebody I definitely want to work with. I'll definitely get around to it. But like I said, there's so many people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know so many people in this culture. It's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? No, and a lot outside of Connecticut,
all time, and you can do an artist and producer on the same track.
Okay, that's easy. I'll definitely do 50 Cent.
Okay.
And I'll definitely, for the beat, would have to be like Harry Fraud or something like that.
Ooh.
Because like I would want it to be something 50 hasn't like some, not PIMP, because I don't want it to be super strong, but I just want it to be a different vibe. So like Harry Fraud and like 50 Cent, that'd be crazy.
Fire combination.
Yeah, that'd be insane. I think that's hard.
That's sweet. So coming back, this is another one of these questions of the what ifs. If you could go open a show for any artist, who would it be and why?
DaBaby, right now, because I know his shows is insane. You got crazy records.
Facts.
That's, you know what I'm saying. Like, I'll definitely want to open. Can I do two?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pick somebody that's not living. Michael Jackson. I would.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'll be one. I would have to create probably a wave just to perform, to open up for him. But yeah, Michael Jackson, man, that's the standard for me. You know, Michael Jackson's the guy that, you know, I'm literally like the only thing that I ever chased like musically is Thriller because it was 9 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Every song was amazing, and everybody liked everything. It's not a song on Thriller you like I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's just
not
an A+ project.
It's just there, and like I watched so many documentaries on it. He used to he literally would cry. Like the first cut, he cried because it didn't sound the way he wanted it to sound. And I knew like music started being for me because when I was younger and shit didn't go my way, like I would really be like really worked up. Like I wouldn't cry necessarily, but it was almost like some bitching and moaning, crying type of mad like. And I say bitching and moaning because now that I'm older, I I look at my old ways like kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like kid, what's wrong with you? But yeah, Michael Jackson definitely, and the baby in the present tense.
Bro, that you saw that bop on Broadway.
Yeah, that video was amazing, man.
That's like
But that's hard work.
exactly.
That's a lot of groundwork, a lot of years, dedication, man. That didn't just come out of nowhere.
Exactly. People are like, he's a new up and coming. He's been working hard for a very long time now.
That's a fact. And I tweeted something like that. I was like, I'm fine if you haven't heard my music, because it's funny. Like there's certain people I've talked to, and they'll be like, oh, like I reached out to somebody in California that I met mutually about like doing a show, like finding promoters, because that's kind of guy that I am. I'll just ask you, you know what I'm saying? Like I go back to like asking for help, you know what I'm saying? Like if you can't go out there seek it, you ain't gonna get it. So I asked somebody and he was like, oh, I never heard your music, so I don't think I can help you. And I was like, you're right. And ever since then I always had the mentality like, you know what, like everybody not gonna hear my music. 7 billion people in this world and there's billions of songs you probably never heard of. There's hundreds of songs or tens of songs you probably never heard of your favorite artists, you know what I'm saying? So that's not an insult to me. Like people try to use like funny little catchphrases and terms to like minimalize up and coming artists.
Mm-hmm.
And we're really running like functional businesses. Yeah, I don't got $100,000 or nothing like that, but I got an LLC that I pay out of my pocket. When I go to my shows, I'm putting gas in my car. I have a car. You know what I'm saying? Life goes on bigger than just the music. Like the clothes is dope, but the life behind it is a whole bunch of shit that happens too. So.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's a good way to see it, though, and not be upset if someone's like, I haven't heard your music. Like,
you're right.
True.
I can play you a song of your favorite artist you probably never heard.
Exactly. Might have been.
Does it make you a bad fan?
No, not at all.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? It's just all about your thought process, man. Because I feel like if you let people take your mental space or your energy, bro, you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as somebody can change how you feel, it's because you already felt that way. You know what I'm saying? So I make sure when I go in that studio, everything I do is what I know when I walk out of there, I can live on every bar. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's gonna be like, oh damn, like this shit trash. And I'm like, damn, it is trash. I should have changed that. Nah, fuck me. You think it's trash? It's because this is not for you, kid. That's it. It's not for you.
I feel that.
Yeah.
That's real. Damn. Speaking about all these songs, what's been your favorite song that you've ever released? Not recorded, but released.
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee. And why is that?
Just because of like the rap, like how I sounded on that record. Like I love the way I sounded. I love that I hit the points that I was I was aiming for. You know what I'm saying? Like flow, cadence, and all those that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? So I love when my flow and everything is just flowing like from start to finish. And that was my biggest thing. Like it took me probably 10 years literally to get a real flow. Like I don't listen to people and steal their flow to sound like them, and I don't knock anybody for doing that. It's just I was raised around him. He's 38, you know what I'm saying? My cousin's 32, you know what I'm saying? I grew up around older cousins. I was like I said, I was the kid amongst everybody that was into something, you know what I'm saying? And they gave that energy to me, so like rapping is me. So Spike Lee is my favorite record I released.
I like that, bro. So what's next?
To be honest, what's next is just continuing to be persistent, consistent, higher quality, and being mentally more tough, doing things that I never thought that I could do, and just staying true, taking it one day at a time, being brick by brick, because that's what got me here.
I like that, bro. Where do you see yourself in 1 year, 5 year, and 10 years?
In a year, I see myself actually headlining shows seriously with a record on the radio. In 5 years, I see myself actually like being a serious touring act, just off of just work ethic and years to come. And in 10 years, I see myself making other people's dreams happen because I'm not gonna be rapping forever. And my biggest thing is helping people. And if I could sit in the studio and make money at the same time and don't have to do too much, you know what I'm saying? Besides just work on a project and see somebody else's dreams and see somebody else sit behind the camera, that's what it's about for
Basically,
me.
be the executive producer.
So, exactly. You know,
I like
CEO. You know what I'm saying?
Like how Baby was for Wayne.
More so, like, to be honest, Quincy Jones.
Okay.
And a mix of Quincy Jones and what's my man's name, Berry Gordy.
Yep.
Where I love the music and I understand how music works and I understand how to sell music. But then on top of that, I know how to be a businessman and develop artists because Berry Gordy from Motown is artist development, man. They'll never do it like that ever again. And I probably won't be able to recreate it, but like just to be able to get a fraction of that man's knowledge and the way he moved, that man is the GOAT. There wouldn't be none of us here being able to do none of this stuff without that man. And Quincy Jones as well. So
Motown was huge.
and that whole wave though, you gotta understand, like my grandmother, she comes from that time, you know. She was like one of the first people arrested in the sit-ins, like the original sit-ins. Like
Damn.
she didn't cheat, and it's funny, I asked her about it a couple of days ago, and she was like, at that time I really didn't think of it as much. You know, I didn't think of it as much. I thought it was a joke. You know, my parents was more mad that I could possibly get kicked out of school, juxtaposed like, you know, this being some type of history moment, you know, and I understand and I pay attention to my history and what was before me. I love everything that happened before me, you know.
That's huge. Observing what happened before, knowing what's going to happen next, and then preparing what you're going to do now.
It's a fact.
So I got two last questions. They're both kind of similar. The first one, what advice would you have for someone wanting to follow in your footsteps right now?
Okay. The advice I would say, go harder than you think you can go. Don't second guess yourself, because second guessing yourself is only gonna waste you time, and time is not of the essence. And that's like the biggest thing that I can express is time management. I don't care, you know, about what else is going on in life. You know, like I sacrificed a lot to be a musician, you know, just to get thus far. Like I used to like get in serious arguments. You know, I come from a hard working blue collar family, construction family, where my stepfather that, you know, raised me, made me the man that I am today. It was all about work. And if you're not a worker, as in you're going to a job, you're a bum, you're lazy. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily you're a bum, but like if you're not bringing in some real money, you're not really saying nothing to him. You know, and I had to like actually do stuff. It took years. Like I moved out of my parents' house, you know, just to make sure that I could show them like, yo, I'm for real about this. Like I go to work, I'll do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, nothing's gonna beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like.
I like that, bro. That's a great message. And then the last one is, what is one message you would give to your fans?
One message I'll give to my fans is continue to be strong, even when it feels like it's hard. You know, continue just to keep your head down and don't pay no attention to the bullshit that's not real, that's not actually affecting your life. That's all.
Big facts. Fuck with that. And do you have any shout outs that you want to give to anybody?
To be honest, I want to shout out my mother. You know,
Hey.
I want to shout out my family. I want to shout out God. I want to shout out everybody and everything that's good or bad that's brought me to this point right here. You know, without that, I wouldn't be here.
Facts.